Are there other rules that each of you have kind of come up with
Oh, yes.
that you wish you hadn't done?
Oh, the blood bond. I can just beat my head against the wall every time I think about it. And finally, on my website, people ask me so many questions like, well, what would weaken it if she drank vinegar? Would that weaken it? I just thought, I'm just not going to answer any more questions about it.
I was doing world building with high fantasy long time ago, and I think it works best when you're doing it and you're just going along and making it up, and you do tend to write yourself into corners that way. But I have gotten through the years rather good about, as I said, avoiding those corners. And so far I don't have anything insurmountable, but I'm going in some strange directions, and who knows what corner that might lead to. And that, a corner is creative. If you get a good corner, you think over and over again how to get out of it.
Yes.
Well, and two, like, there was, there's some rules that I set up early on. Sabina has a sidekick named Bigul, and he's a mischief demon. And so I'd set up this rule that demons can't come to our realm unless they're summoned by a mage. Mages hold some kind of control over them, and they're under the mage's control. Well, I needed that not to be the case in the later book, and I was like, well, there's some special demons that are of a different class, and these rules don't apply to them. So sometimes you just have to kind of get creative with how you break your own rules, but you have to explain that it has to be motivated, and you have to explain why it's different. So there are certainly corners you can get yourself into, and then you kind of just have to figure out a workaround.
In my early fantasy, I did back myself into a terrible corner. I said my heroine could go through gates to worlds, but she could take no one unwilling through with her. Then she got pregnant. Oh. That was a good one to work out. But that's why I'm very careful now.
I already had to answer something in the next book, the book that hadn't come out yet. I was working at my computer one day, and all of a sudden I thought, oh my God, that's not even possible. And the book's already been printed. And then I thought, thinking time. So I sat there and I finally thought of a way around it. And then I called my editor who had, not even spotted this problem. And I said, you haven't even seen this, but I've already thought of how to get out of it. She wasn't as relieved as I was for some reason.
So now we're going to have suspense in your book.
Now you'll have to spot my mistake, but I have a great answer for it. Really, I'm ready to rebut that.
Because people don't miss stuff. Like, you may miss it, your editor may miss it, your copy editor, your proofreader, everyone. It can go through several rounds, and then
your readers.
And then, the week the book comes out, somebody's like, what the hell is this on page 3 that you've read 10 times, they'll catch it.
Did you know his eyes were gray on page 17 and they're blue on page 38?